old Sugarloaf Mountain in Rio never change. But, as befits the world's most exciting sport, Formula 1 racing is always on the move. As the season starts in Brazil, the teams find themselves back at square one, with a set of new rules designed to eliminate the unpopular ground effects. This is a problem for drivers like defending world champion Keke Rosberg of Williams, McLaren's John Watson, and the reflective Patrick Tambay of Ferrari, as they consider Jean-Marie Valles's new regulations. After 5 inactive months, Riccardo Patrese and Nelson Piquet are keen to get to the core of the problem, just like Derek Warwick. The problem is, how competitive will I be now that my Formula 1 car has less than half of its former downforce? Ferrari are in Rio with a flat-bottom version of their 1982 design, as are Williams, while Renault are also looking at options by building an interim car. Among these select teams which dominated the status quo the previous season, only Brabham have managed to race-ready their stunning new BMW-powered turbo cars for the first race. Even so, the first pole position of the new season falls to the old champion, and it's Rosberg first away. Before a crowd of some 90,000 very excitable Brazilians, it's Keke Rosberg in the lead from Alain Prost with the Renault in second place. Not now, dear, thank you. As I said, it's Rosberg in the lead. Prost in second place, Piquet in third. Not now, do me a favour, we're in the middle of a race. It's Prost in second place, but challenging him, Nelson Piquet right behind him with the Brabham. Fourth is Riccardo Patrese, fifth is Tambay, sixth Arnoux, seventh is Chiva, eighth is Derek Warwick with the Tolman. But Rosberg really has got quite an incredible lead in this early stage of the race, but through into second place past these massive grandstands containing the cheering crowds. Nelson Piquet with the Parmalat Brabham BMW goes into second place and starts to close on the current world champion Keke Rosberg, taking third place away from Alain Prost there, Riccardo Patrese. And Piquet comes alongside current leader Rosberg and takes the lead in front of his home crowd there, and they justifiably go absolutely wild.
What model is she, Brian?
Just a minute, let's see that overtaking manoeuvre again. Piquet there going through into the lead of his home Grand Prix. And Keke Rosberg's second place now being challenged by Riccardo Patrese with the second Brabham BMW. And look at the way John Watson takes fourth place off Patrick Tambay's Ferrari. Into the pits to retire, Riccardo Patrese from third place. Tambay's Ferrari turbo under a lot of pressure there from Niki Lauda's normally aspirated McLaren. Temperatures here at Rio in excess of 110 degrees Fahrenheit, incredible humidity. Now challenging Alain Prost for his third place is John Watson. And getting through on the inside, Prost leaving the door wide open. Just before half distance, Rosberg comes into the pits to take on fuel and tyres, of course, and there's a fire! There is a fire. Rosberg has got to get out of that car very quickly indeed. The extinguishers are on it, the mechanics on it, and the fire marshals, but Rosberg getting away from the Williams very quickly indeed. We see it again from another camera angle, and you can see the vapour has caught alight, and Rosberg, for a second, engulfed in flames. On go the extinguishers, and Rosberg gets out of the car. Surely his race will be over. The leader still going past the packed grandstands. Brazilian Nelson Piquet with a Parmalat Brabham, and they're push-starting the Williams. Rosberg is back into the car. That is incredible, and in actual fact, I believe it's against the regulations to push-start a car, so he may well get himself disqualified for that manoeuvre. The battle for fourth place between Tambay's Ferrari and Niki Lauda's McLaren. Whilst John Watson is out from second place. He climbed from 16th place on the grid after a great drive. Watson is out and Piquet is into the pits. Piquet with a Parmalat Brabham, of course the Brabham team, the men who pioneered the modern-day Grand Prix pit stop. Let's see if they can do it. It's going to be done quickly and efficiently. There is a time, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, changing all 4 tyres, putting on fuel. Down go the jacks. And out goes Nelson Piquet, still in the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Piquet extending his lead. And thereafter, 40 laps of the 63 laps, Piquet, Prost, Lauda, Tambay, Rosberg and Warwick. But through into second place goes Niki Lauda, past Alain Prost's Renault. And Prost loses out again after Rosberg passes him. Incredible drive after that near disastrous pit stop. Whilst Lafitte and Sura challenge for Prost, now fairly lowly, 5th place. Through goes Lafitte and Sura challenging there on the inside. And now Rosberg coming up to second place, taking Niki Lauda. But it's Nelson Piquet all the way. And remember, last year Piquet actually won the Brazilian Grand Prix, but was later disqualified. Into the last lap he goes, lapping Alain Prost in the process. And you can hear the Brazilian crowds getting ready. There's the checkered flag. And Nelson Piquet wins the opening round of the 1983 FIA Formula 1 World Championship. And I would think the majority of Brazil is going to go absolutely mad.
Speaking of things Brazilian, Brian, your coffee is now cold.
Get me a fresh one. See how fresh Nelson looks on the rostrum? In this same place a year ago, he collapsed from the physical effort of winning in a ground effect car. This is a relatively simple victory, and once again Piquet and Brabham take the early series lead. Also, as in 1982, Rosberg's second place points are temporary. He would indeed be disqualified for that push start. Downtown Long Beach, California. The first street race of the season, and a chance for Rosberg to prove his theory that normally aspirated engines can still win races if fitted to flat-bottom cars. A retired world champion agrees. Alan Jones has sailed in from Australia.
And he's double-parked his boat right in Long Beach Harbor.
You're going to be asked this many times this weekend, but why did you come back?
Oh, I got bored, I think was basically the simple answer to that. I had this bee under my bonnet about wanting to return back to Australia and live there, and that's what I did. But, you know, it's a very hard thing to get out of your system, this game. And I started sitting down quietly over Christmas wondering what it would be like, particularly with the new regulations, and thought, well, I'll come back and give it a go.
What happens if you're not as competitive as you used to be?
Well, then I'll be disappointed.
Would you stop racing?
Well, it depends on how uncompetitive. I mean, if I was qualifying at the back of the grid and being passed on around the outside by some people I won't mention, well then, yes, I'd probably walk away from it.
Renault now have an all-new car, but pole position goes to Tambay, much to the delight of at least one American admirer. Do you fancy any of the drivers yourselves? Which one?
Patrick Tambay. Yes.
What about you?
I don't have anyone special.
What about you?
They always ask this one. I love them all. I think, God, they've got so much guts. I don't see how they can do it. I love them.
Be a bit busy if you loved them all, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's nice.
I should be so lucky.
Lurking on the second row of the grid is Keke Rosberg's Williams, out to prove a point. And Rosberg smashes Arnoux Ferrari out of the way. Down into the first very tight right-hand, it's Tambay leading. Rosberg second, Lafitte third, Arnoux fourth, Alboreto fifth, Sullivan well up there in sixth place. Alan Jones is halfway down the field. They all negotiate without a problem. And Rosberg tries to take the lead from Tambay and spins. Rosberg spins and incredibly doesn't collect anybody. And there we see it again in slow motion. Now just look at this, because Lafitte looks up under braking and Rosberg almost takes his own teammate out. So it's Tombe leading, Lafitte second, Rosberg third, Alboreto fourth, Arnoux fifth, sixth is Sullivan, seventh Patrese, eighth Prost, ninth Cheever, and Winkelhock's ATS has hit the wall, he's out of the race. And it's Tombe leading, Rosberg back in second place, very close behind. This is a very close race indeed, because in third place is his teammate Lafitte with the second Williams, followed by Alboreto. And Rosberg still looking for the way past this Ferrari. So it's a Ferrari turbo car leading three of the normally aspirated Ford Cosworth cars. Down in fifth place, Patrese is trying to take that placing away from René Arnoux with the second Ferrari, number 28. Arnoux misses again, he accelerates past, and Rosberg tries around the outside to take the lead from Tombe. And Rosberg is trying everything he knows, and probably a few that he doesn't even know, but look right behind him now. Lafitte is challenging him, I wonder what the team orders may be. Rosberg moves across to block his own teammate. And still this incredible battle for the lead. Tombe, Rosberg, Lafitte, Alboreto, now the Ligier of Jarier in fifth place, Patrese's in sixth place. The Ferrari of Arnoux has gone into the pits with tyre problems. Trying to get through into fourth place, there goes Jarier and knocks Alboreto off. So up into fourth place now goes Patrese. And that will surely have done some damage to those cars. There is Arnoux in the pits. Problems with his Goodyear tyres. And Alboreto is also in the pits. He'll be out of the race. The lead battle continues, and Rosberg now challenging for that lead. Oh, braking impossibly late. And he hits Tombe's Ferrari. Tombe's Ferrari goes in there, spins. He'll be out the race. But look at that, Rosberg is away, but he's side by side with Jarier, and he's hit Jarier! Oh, that is incredible! So finally, Rosberg's race is run. Into the lead goes his teammate Lafitte. Second place is still Jarier. Third place will now be Riccardo Patrese. Tombe is absolutely furious. Patrese now up to second place behind Lafitte. Jarier's car is stopped out on Shoreline Drive. Lauda in third place, John Watson is now in fourth place, and that really is quite amazing considering they both started from 22nd and 23rd places respectively. Watson taking Lauda, Watson now up into third place. Patrese's been up the escape road trying to take the lead from Jacques Lafitte. Lafitte still leads, Watson closing in second place, Niki Lauda in third place. Without a doubt, a race of ever-changing fortunes. And there is first, second and third, very close together indeed. Watson looking to the inside. And John Watson leaving his braking for the last possible moment, and outbrakes Lafitte into the lead at the Long Beach Grand Prix. Really quite incredible when you consider that he started from 22nd place on the grid on this street circuit. Making it a McLaren 1-2, second place for Niki Lauda now. Lafitte dropping to third. Nelson Piquet on the right there after all sorts of problems decides to come up the escape road and park his car. Meanwhile, teammate Patrese goes back up into third place past Jacques Lafitte. Both Cheever and Arnoux have caught up with Lafitte, and they all change positions at the same corner. Arnoux fourth, Cheever fifth. And Cheever there going up into fourth place. And a real battle between the Renault and the Ferrari. Back into that place goes Arnoux. Meanwhile, Alan Jones goes into the pits to retire from 12th place. Cheever also retires. Lafitte's car blows up, and finally, to add insult to injury, Riccardo Patrese retires from third place, leaving John Watson, number 7, with the Marlboro McLaren, going on to a great victory here at Long Beach.
But I thought she had the hots for tapping.
This was a fine performance by Watson, underlining the unpredictability of motor racing. Both McLarens were faster in the race than in qualifying, and Lauda's second place puts him at the head of the points table. Engine trouble kept Prost's new car out of the points, so Renault are not yet even in the hunt. This just had to change at Paul Ricard, which is a track where the team does most of its testing. The Pride of France now has 2 new cars, and Renault are expected to do their duty. So Prost claims pole position by over 2 seconds. Ricard is a flat race circuit, and the domination of Renault will make the French Grand Prix a rather flat race. Away from the line, it's Alain Prost, Riccardo Patrese, Eddie Cheever, Nelson Piquet, and the Ferrari of René Arnoux. She's not a model.
What is she?
Look, I'll tell you later. It's Prost still leading. Up into second place, it's still Patrese, Cheever 3rd, Piquet 4th, Arnoux 5th, Tambay 6th, D'Angelis 7th, Warwick 8th. It's Prost still leading. The highest Ferrari is in 5th place. That's Patrick Tambay, followed by his teammate Arnoux in 6th place, D'Angelis 7th, and there is Rosberg once again up into 8th place. Coming through to take second place, Eddie Cheever, so it's Renault first and second. And Keke Rosberg is intent to get past D'Angelis' Lotus Renault, and does so, outtakes him into the corner. But D'Angelis is not going to have anything of it. In fact, he's not going to have anything of anything if he does that again, because he goes right onto the sand. As another retirement, Derek Warwick, pushing his Tolman away. And D'Angelis tries a little bit hard and goes straight off. Meanwhile, Nelson Piquet has passed Cheever, up into second place with the Parmalat Brabham. Prost still leads, and Patrese comes into the pits to retire. Cheever coming in for a pit stop. On goes the timing. Renault, who always seem to have extraordinary luck here at Paul Ricard. Fuel's gone on. Tyres still being changed. It's quite a long pit stop. It's a very long pit stop. Just under 18 seconds. Race leader Alain Prost now well clear. And coming into the pits. Now the race itself can be won or lost with these pit stops. Once again, the tyres being changed. Fuel on. And they've got a problem with the right back wheel. This is a long fuel stop, a long pit stop. This could lose Prost both the lead and the race for the French Grand Prix. He's away in over 24 seconds. And Maribaldi goes up and slams into the Armco barrier very hard indeed. He's unhurt, but most definitely out of the race. New race leader Nelson Piquet comes in. Will this be a fast fuel stop? The clock goes on. The fuel is on. The tyres have been changed. 16 seconds, well, quicker than Prost, but not that quick. So it's Alain Prost in the lead in the closing stages of the French Grand Prix. Second place for Nelson Piquet. Third place, Eddie Cheever. Heading towards So Renault opening their score sheet here at Paul Ricard. The finish in second place will be Nelson Piquet, Chiba third, Tambay fourth, Keke Rosberg with the Williams in fifth place, the highest place non-turbo car, sixth place is teammate Jacques Lafitte. Whilst Alain Prost is obviously delighted to win his own home French Grand Prix, we spoke to Renault's sports director, Gérard Larousse. Why do Renault always win in Paul Ricard? Why do they always... Nothing breaks, everything goes 100% for you?
Because Renault is the best in Paul Ricard, and we think the French hair is better than for us.
It was easy, but very difficult for myself because you know, I did not win for one year, and I wanted absolutely to win this race, and I was very afraid to have a problem with the engine or something else.
By splitting the two Renaults, Piquet restores his points lead, but Prost's name is now also on the leaderboard. Ricard is a pointer for the rest of the season. On the faster tracks, not even the new flat bottom rules can help the non-turbo teams. Ancient battlements in Imola, the Italian town where the tiny state of San Marino holds its Grand Prix.
See, spaghetti isn't fattening. It's messy. Stick to macaroni, honey, it's safer.
Imola is formidable Ferrari territory, just down the road from Maranello and the scene of the late Gilles Villeneuve's last race. For all Italian fans, this is the most emotional Grand Prix of the year. The circuit is even called the Autodromo Dino Ferrari. The move gets a response from René Arnoux, who puts his red car on pole position. Series leader Piquet splits Arnoux from Tambay. Although the sheer power of the Italian V6 turbo presents a real problem to all Ferrari's opponents. Prost qualifies as Renault 4, and the quartet of drivers who will dominate the quest for the World Championship is now beginning to emerge. The organisers have brought in random checks to ensure that the cars meet the minimum weight regulations. Whilst Mauro Baldi really must cut down on his smoking habit.
Wait a minute, I know you said no skites, but those aren't flat bottoms. So what did this guy do? Say no to Bernie?
So Ferrari's first and third on the grid, and away they go, and Piquet stuck on the line, and the car's going just which way. Brabham, Arnoux in the lead, Tambay in second place, Prost third, Tracy fourth, and a real surprise is Piquet's left on the line. Challenging for second place there is Patrese, Arnoux, Tambay, Ferrari's first and second. And there is Nelson Piquet's car being push-started. Off the line he goes. And Eddie Cheever's Renault blows its turbo on the first lap. Piquet closing in already on the tail enders. And Guerrero's car goes off in a big way, having tangled with Danny Sullivan's Benetton Tyrrell. Camera actually looking for where he is. There he is. Roberto out of the car, the young Colombian driver, okay, but it's Arnoux leading for Patrese now in second place. Ferrari turbo versus BMW turbo, Tambay in third place, Alain Prost in fourth place with the Renault. Looking away down the inside, and Patrese goes through into the lead here. Arnoux dropping to second place. Running in ninth place, Michele Alboreto hits the tyre wall, goes off, almost takes Nigel Mansell with him. And Niki Lauda has a certain amount of sympathy for Michele Alboreto, does exactly the same thing in exactly the same position, and parks beside Michele, knocking over a few signposts as he goes. On lap 20 of his 60-lap race, René Arnoux comes in from second place, Ferrari number 28. Riccardo Patrese with the Parmalat Brabham number 6, of course, still leading. After just 16 seconds, out goes Arnoux. He drops to 5th place. From his 3rd place, in comes Alain Prost with the Renault. Whilst the Candy Tolman of Derek Warwick has had a big accident on the far side of the circuit. Warwick there jumping down, he's okay. There's the clock on Alain Prost's Renault. Right along pit stop, he goes back out in 4th place. Whilst the fastest, normally aspirated car, Nicky Rosberg, world champion, goes out. And off goes Elio De Angelis, just missing Derek Warwick's stricken car there. De Angelis almost collecting that Candy Tolman. Patrese, though, still leads. In comes Patrick Tambay. Now, Tambay was lying in 2nd place. And that looks to be a very quick pit stop indeed. Ferrari number 27 goes back out in 2nd place, already up into 5th place is Nelson Piquet, and into the pits comes number 6, the race leader, Riccardo Patrese, with a Parmalat Brabham, and he's overshot his mark. He has overshot the point where the car should have been stationary. That has stretched the airlines. Into the lead goes Ferrari number 27, and look at the time clock. Nearly 24 seconds for that pit stop. He's in 2nd place, but he's going to have a lot of work to do, and Sullivan's gone off! Sullivan has hit the Candy Tolman of Derek Warwick, who was already there, and has literally pushed that car on top of the Benetton tool. A very serious accident indeed. Meanwhile, Ferrari number 27, Patrick Tambay, coming under a lot of pressure now from Riccardo Patrese, who's closed the gap. And look at this, 1st and 2nd, absolutely nose to tail. The 150,000 spectators here saying absolutely berserk. They want to see a Ferrari victory, no matter what. Patrick Tambay, number 27, leads Riccardo Patrese with a Parmalat Brabham, coming towards the end of the San Marino Grand Prix. Tambay, Patrese, Arnoux, Prost, Rosberg, then Watson. But all eyes on this incredible battle for the lead. And Patrese's got through. Patrese has got through. You see that Tambay has a slight misfire. So Riccardo Patrese through into the lead with the Parmalat Brabham. Looks to be set for victory here at San Marino. Just 5 laps to go then. Patrese lead, and he's going wide, and he's gone off. Patrese has gone off in the biggest possible way. Thrown away certain victory here at Imola. And a great big cheer from the crowd, because they would prefer to see a Ferrari driven by a Frenchman win the San Marino Grand Prix than an Italian driving a Brabham. And there in the replay you can see the moment that Patrick Tambay with Ferrari number 27 takes the lead. And Arnoux has spun as well. Now Arnoux would have climbed all the way up to 2nd place, but because he spun here, he'll have dropped to 3rd place, so through into 2nd place goes Alain Prost. And Nigel Mansell's lost his rear wing. Mansell has gone off also. He saved himself from many serious injuries and through in the middle of the melee there into his last lap goes Patrick Tambay, and it's all happening. Once again, Mauro Baldi, we told him to stop smoking, but does he listen? No, of course he doesn't. Look at that Alfa Romeo go up in a nice big cloud of smoke. So the 150,000 spectators, well, they've had a tremendous Grand Prix. And there, Ferrari number 27, and let's listen to the cheers, takes victory here. Prost finishes 2nd, but Patrick Tambay, who stopped on the far side of the circuit, just listen to the background. He's run out of petrol, but I suggest to him that if he wants to be really safe, he gets away from the Ferrari Tifosi. And whilst probably £1 million worth of Formula 1 records were swept away from the circuit, there the police helping Patrick Tambay to the victory rostrum. By winning in Italy in Ferrari number 27, race number of their beloved Villeneuve, Tambay has secured himself a place in the hearts of all Italian fans. Piquet and Prost now share the lead in what now looks like an all-turbo battle for the World Championship. But Monte Carlo, the gambler's paradise, has a surprise in store. The granddaddy of all street circuits has often produced shock results. Both McLarens so impressive around the streets of Long Beach failed to qualify, and on the 2nd day it rains, adding to the already impressive spectacle. everyone loves a crowd. But a crowd loves some more than others.
Well, she had to be here, right?
It's damp on race day 2, and on go the groove tyres on all cars, save Rosberg. Keke sees a break in the clouds and takes a gamble on slicks, and he charges right from the start. All 20 cars get away towards Saint-Devote. Rosberg in second place, right behind Alain Prost. Up the hill, Prost, Rosberg, Cheever. Then comes Tambay, De Chesneris, Arnoux and Lafitte, and Rosberg has taken the lead and pulled away. Prost in second place. Cheever third. Arnoux in fourth place, looking for a way past Cheever. Tambay fifth, Lafitte sixth, De Chesneris seventh. And just look at Rosberg go on a drying track where the choice of tyres was most certainly a slick decision. Piquet in for a tyre change, onto slick tyres he goes. Out goes the Parmalat Brabham. Piquet drops to 14th place, and third place man Arnoux slows. Cheever goes past, the rim comes off the number 28 Ferrari, a certain retirement for that car. So just one Ferrari left in contention for World Championship points, that of Patrick Tambay. In fourth place now is Derek Warwick, fifth Alain Prost, sixth place Nelson Piquet, fighting his way back into the World Championship point scores, and goes through on the inside past Alain Prost for fifth place. But now we have a tremendous battle between the arrows of Mark Surer in third place, car number 29, just leading Derek Warwick with the Candy Tolman in fourth place. Right behind him is Nelson Piquet and Alain Prost, fifth and sixth. The Williams team are first and second. Rosberg leads Lafitte in third place. Mark Surer now under a lot of pressure from Derek Warwick. Warwick tries the inside, they touch, and they both have a big accident through the middle of the debris. Goes Nelson Piquet and Alain Prost. And here we see it again in slow motion replay, because Derek Warwick from Great Britain tried to get on the inside of Mark Surer from Switzerland. And their two fine drives here at the 1983 Monaco Grand Prix most definitely coming to an abrupt end. And Jacques Lafitte from second place is going into the pits very slowly indeed. Yes, arms waving from the cockpit. He's out of the race, but there's no stopping Keke Rosberg. The flying Finn doing just that out of the Casino Square. Nelson Piquet up into second place with the Parmalat Brabham. Prost with the Renault in third place. Of Patrick Tambay now up to fourth place, but only 6 cars still running from the 20 starters. Fifth for Danny Sullivan, the young American driver, with the Tyrrell number 4. And through to victory here comes Keke Rosberg for the Williams team. The Union Jacks go out, and Keke Rosberg wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Rosberg's gamble paid off, and he got to meet Prince Rainier, and so did Piquet and Prost. Nelson is back on top, but his lead is only 2 points, and Tambay is still keeping Rosberg out of the top 3. 1983 is a great year for the traditionalists, because it marks the return of Spa-Francorchamps. The magnificent road course in the Ardennes forests, not used for Formula 1 since Pedro Rodriguez won here in 1970, is a spiritual home of the Belgian Grand Prix, and the new, shorter track retains much of the old atmosphere. In Belgium, chips go with everything, including modern-day Grand Prix motor racing. Prost seems confident of a win here, and he's on pole position with Tambay alongside. But the favourites are shaken by an unexpected interloper in the form of Andrea de Cesaris with his Alfa Romeo. The Brabhams of Nelson Piquet and Riccardo Patrese ought to go well at the Spa circuit. One thing that this area is renowned for is its changeable weather pattern, and in the final practice session we had some very wet weather indeed. But of course, if it rains for the race day, that could prove very beneficial to the non-turbo teams. Race day, though, was to dawn dry but overcast. Some 90,000 spectators coming to the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. With yellow flags waving, the starter declared a false start, but de Cesaris clearly signalled his intentions to his rivals and drove between Prost and Tambay. But the drivers on the front row didn't learn. The second time it's a clean getaway, and the Alfa driver does it again. So it's de Cesaris into the lead here at the La Source hairpin. Everybody locking up and scrambling around this very tight hairpin. De Cesaris leads, in second place it's Prost, third it's Tambay, fourth Arnoux, fifth Piquet, sixth Patrese. Through the sweeping Eau Rouge they've gone. Number 22, the Alfa Turbo leads. Now in second place, Alain Prost. Tambay still third, Arnoux fourth, Piquet in fifth place. And Jarier with the Ligier drives into the side of John Watson's McLaren, both of them instant retirements. And Andrea de Cesaris putting on quite a stunning performance, pulling away. Prost is in second place, whilst taking third place, Nelson Piquet with a Parmalat Brabham, Arnoux in fourth place, but closing in on both of them, amazingly, is Keke Rosberg with a normally aspirated Williams. Coming into Eau Rouge once again, and just watch, Keke Rosberg in fifth place is absolutely on the limit. And Andrea de Cesaris is in the pit, but long pit stop. The mechanics have made a mess of putting on one of the rear wheels. He dropped right down to fifth place. Alain Prost with the Renault takes the lead, and René Arnoux is blown up. So that puts de Cesaris back up into third place. Fourth place for Rosberg, still leading Alain Prost from Nelson Piquet. René Arnoux walking away from his Ferrari. Through comes Manfred Winkelhock, came very sideways there, and there's the reason why. His wheel has parted company with the ATS BMW. Slamming through the catch fencing into the Armco barrier. And Winkelhock being helped out of the car, completely unhurt. Such is the strength of the modern-day Formula 1 Grand Prix car. And de Cesaris coming through, slowing down. He is in second place, and the car has blown its engine. Andrea de Cesaris, who'd worked his way up into second place, but there's our race leader going into the closing stages of the Belgian Grand Prix. Alain Prost with the Renault Turbo. Second place now is Nelson Piquet, being chased by Tambay in third place. Fourth now is Eddie Cheever, whilst in fifth place is Keke Rosberg. With Alain Prost heading towards victory, all change at the lower end of the field because Bruno Giacomelli has spun out at one of the chicanes, gets going again. No harm done, it would seem. And into second place has gone Patrick Tambay. Piquet is slowing dramatically. There is Piquet in third place, about to be taken by Eddie Cheever's Renault. Through comes Cheever into the top three placings. Piquet fourth. In fifth place will be Keke Rosberg, but through to win the Belgian Grand Prix goes Alain Prost with the Renault.
Yes, it's fantastic for me to win this race because it's 9 points for the championship, and it's very good because the track is fantastic, and it's very good for a driver to win on this kind of track.
Deep satisfaction for Prost, taking the series lead on a circuit relished by him and his rivals. Spa-Francorchamps was a very different track from the next one on the calendar. Now the scene moves back across the Atlantic to Detroit. Beneath the tower blocks lies the slowest and tightest circuit on the Grand Prix calendar. The Motown Street race, held on the doorstep of manufacturing giants like Ford and General Motors, is personally disliked by Prost, and the new championship leader qualifies a lowly 13th as Arnoux, Piquet and Tambay lead the way on the grid. For Keke Rosberg, who had driven so bravely at Spa, for so little reward, this might be a chance to give the Cosworth engine a final fling. And so, under beautiful sunny skies, the second Detroit Grand Prix is about to get underway. Arnoux in pole position, Piquet alongside him, Tambay right behind, red lights on. Green and then away, and Tambay is stalled, and everybody again getting clear of him, and straight into the lead has gone René Arnoux, but being challenged by Nelson Piquet. And it's Piquet in the lead. Piquet has taken the lead. In second place is Arnoux. In third place, a surprise, is Elio De Angelis, who went very well during practice. As you can see, Detroit, a real street circuit. Tambay's Ferrari being cleared off the grid. Completion of lap 1, still the same order. Piquet, Arnoux. Elio De Angelis with the Lotus Renault, going very well in these early stages. Round the circuit of 2.56 miles in downtown Detroit. A battle for the lead between Nelson Piquet with his Parmalat Brabham BMW and René Arnoux, number 28, and Eddie Cheever, the American driver, out in the second Renault. Arnoux challenging for the lead down the inside, trying to outbrake Nelson Piquet. Piquet just holds on to the lead. A real Brabham versus Ferrari duel here in Detroit, and Arnoux looks to the inside and goes cleanly past Nelson Piquet. And the Ferrari seems to be pulling away. They will have made a better choice of tyres for this street circuit. And there's a fine midfield battle, and Guerrero with the Theodore goes past Riccardo Patrese with the Parmalat Brabham. Meanwhile, race leader René Arnoux pulling away. A battle on for 4th, 5th and 6th place. 4th, the Chesris, 5th, Alboreto, and in 6th place, Derek Warwick with the Tolman. Alboreto looking for a way past the Chesris on the inside now, breaking him quite cleanly, going into 4th place. Whilst ahead of them, Piquet and Rosberg battling it out for 2nd place. But then Rosberg has to go into the pits for a change of tyres. It's still René Arnoux, though, in the lead from Nelson Piquet, but Arnoux is slowing down, and Piquet is alongside him, and Piquet takes the lead, and René Arnoux with the Ferrari slowing right down out of the race. So it's Piquet who takes the lead, but Michele Alboreto in 2nd place with a Tyrrell is closing on Nelson Piquet. Meanwhile, Andrea de Chesris visits the tyre wall permanently. In 3rd place now, Keke Rosberg fighting back. John Watson is in 4th place, having come up from 21st place on the grid. We're into the last 10 laps of the race. Piquet still leads, but Alboreto is closing. Piquet is certain to run the entire distance without a fuel stop. So they've been bluffing their rivals, but look at this 1st and 2nd, very close together. Piquet leads, Alboreto right behind him in second place, looking for a way through, and goes through under braking, and Piquet's rear tyre is flat. Piquet's rear tyre is flat, you can see it. Nelson is going to have to come into the pits to change that tyre. So Michele Alboreto with a Tyrrell heading towards his second Grand Prix victory of his career. Through he goes. Piquet is in the pits, changing his tyres. Up to second place will go Rosberg. Out goes Nelson Piquet. Third place for John Watson. Fourth for Piquet. Fifth is Lafitte. Sixth, Nigel Mansell. And down in eighth place, after a rather uninspired Detroit Grand Prix, is Alain Prost. But there is a checkered flag for the winner of the Detroit Grand Prix, Michele Alboreto with the Benetton Tyrrell. Another unexpected result, and it wasn't even Rosberg who struck a blow for the Cosworth, but Alboreto scoring his first points of the season. Ferrari get nothing from Motown, and Piquet is the only top contender to score, closing the gap to Prost just a little. Before flying back to Europe, the Formula 1 teams stay on for another week in North America to race on a very different kind of street circuit in Montreal. This is a complex exercise in logistics, for the teams must arrange to transport all their personnel plus 44 racing cars and no less than 120 tons of spares and equipment in a whole fleet of trucks across the border into Canada.
And it looks like they've transported her, too.
By now, it is being whispered that Arnoux has no future with Ferrari. But René's answer to that is to be fastest in both qualifying sessions.
He's the one me envies.
Prost, Piquet and Tambay line up behind him and acknowledge that the top trio has now become a quartet. Straight into the lead, number 28, René Arnoux. But outbreaking Prost into second place goes Riccardo Patrese with the Parmalat Brabham. Prost third, Piquet fourth, Tambay fifth, Chivas sixth, Chesbris seventh, Giacomelli in eighth place. Rosberg making his move into the hairpin, trying to get past Manfred Winkelhock. Top five now pulling away from the rest of the field. And Piquet looks for a way past into third place, tries to get through and does so, gets past Alain Prost. Meanwhile, Arnoux is pulling away in the lead. Patrese coming under pressure from his own teammate, Nelson Piquet. Meanwhile, Rosberg tries to outbrake de Chesbris' Alfa Romeo. And they engage in a bit of dodgem racing, and Rosberg comes off the worse. For Alain Prost, not a good race. He seems to have a down-on-power engine. He dropped the place to fifth. And Nelson Piquet is coming in. He seems to be waving his hands to Gordon Murray. Turns out that is a throttle cable broken. That's a sort of small thing that can lose you the World Championship. Meanwhile, René Arnoux carrying on in the lead. Teammate Patrick Tambay, number 27, up to third place now. And Arnoux, the leader, into the pits. Riccardo Patrese with a Parmalat Brabham will now go into the lead. But now Patrese comes into the pits for his fuel stop. And René Arnoux resumes the lead. There's a time clock on Patrese's pit stop. Just over 11 seconds, a very quick pit stop indeed. He's back in second place. Cheever moves up to third place as Tombe comes in for his fuel stop. So can René Arnoux win for the first time in the 1983 Grand Prix season? And there's Patrese in second place, Cheever third, Tombe fourth. So a good battle going there. And Cheever looking for a way past Riccardo Patrese, who could be in some form of problems because he's slowed down. And Cheever trying the outside into the chicane and does it. Oh, and Patrese runs very wide and is almost taken by Patrick Tombe. So Cheever second, Patrese third, Tombe in fourth place. But Tombe coming alongside, under braking, and Tombe now moving into third place. And Riccardo could well have a problem with his gearbox because he's dropping back all the time. Coming out the hairpin, he's taken by John Watson and Danny Sullivan, who are both a lap behind, which shows he's in serious problems, as is Derek Warwick. So another retirement for the Candy Tolman, and a very smoky one at that. Fire starting from the back. Obviously the turbocharger once again, with Rosberg now up to fourth place. Patrese coming under pressure for his fifth place from Alain Prost, who will go through into that fifth place. And Riccardo Patrese into the pits. So Patrese out of the race, both of the Parmalat Brabhams then not in the points, but there's nothing to stop this man, René Arnoux, from winning his first Grand Prix of the 1983 season here in Montreal. Up towards the checkered flag he goes. Victory for Ferrari and René Arnoux. And just before the flag, the ATS expires in a big way.
And there's Tootsie Tombe with his mighty magnum. Oh, and look at Arnoux. Oh, come on, Arnoux. Oh, look, he's taking his hat off. Arnoux faces Tombe in retaliation. Oh, isn't it great?
Montreal is the halfway Grand Prix of the 15-race series, and Tombe and Piquet are now tying for second place, only 3 points behind leader Alain Prost. In the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari and Renault are now tying for the lead. The end of the 5-week break of the season is heralded by the red arrows. That means the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, always a festive occasion. Series break has been well used by Ferrari and Lotus, both of whom have completed their new turbo cars, while Brabham's Gordon Murray has further improved the BT52 BMW. As the championship enters its second half, Prost is still looking confident, with Piquet sharing second place with a relaxed Tombe. The new Ferraris dominate qualifying, with Arnoux now sure of making the Big Three into the Big Four on the pole for the third race running. Behind Prost, Elio De Angelis is this week's interloper with the new Lotus Renault out-qualifying both the Brabhams. And here's another newcomer, the Spirit Formula 1 car driven by Stefan Johansson, powered by a Works Honda V6 turbo engine, and here to make its World Grand Prix debut. Silverstone started out as a wartime bomber base, but never has it seen quite so many aircraft flying in during a single day. With an attendance of 120,000 people on a sweltering hot day, Silverstone was set to see a great race. Two new Ferraris on the front row of the grid. Tombe Cheever and Piquet quite far down. And Rosberg is off. Rosberg has got back on, but only just. Down the hangar straight they come. 180 miles per hour down this straight. Through the chicane, completion of lap 1. Still the same order. De Angelis up into 6th place now. And De Angelis' Renault engine has blown in the biggest possible way, and it looks as if the Lotus Challenge could well be over here at the British Grand Prix. Still Torbay from René Arnoux. Prost closing in 3rd place, Patrese still 4th, Piquet up to 5th, Cheever 6th. And there, the end of the Grand Prix debut for the Spirit Honda, was running incidentally as high as 10th place. The top 5 order still the same, Piquet closing on the leaders. And Patrese's car also blown, the BMW engine. A challenge for 2nd place by Alain Prost. Prost side by side through Cox Corner. Alain Prost goes into 2nd place. Arnoux drops to 3rd. Piquet right behind him in 4th. And this race could well be a tyre race. The Ferraris on Goodyears, the Renault and the Brabhams on Michelin tyres. And now Piquet challenging Arnoux. Can't quite get past him. And Tambay's lead under a lot of pressure now from the Renault of Prost. Coming down Hangar Straight into Stowe Corner. Through the Woodcote chicane. Tremendous battle for the lead. And the Renault goes through on the inside of Cox once again, as he did on Arnoux. So new race leader, Alain Prost with the Renault. And Tambay is dropping back. Piquet trying to look to the inside there. The Ferraris could well be in tyre problems with their Goodyear tyres. Going past Rosberg, lapping him, 2nd and 3rd place. Down Hangar Straight once again, and just about touching wheels with Tambay, side by side, rubbing wheels. Incredibly close racing. And still Nelson Piquet tries, thinks better of it. Into the chicane, out of the slipstream, under braking. Piquet goes into 2nd place with the Parmalat Brabham. Now into the pits comes race leader Alain Prost. Into the race lead now will go Nelson Piquet. Here he is. There's the clock. Will it be a quick pit stop? 14.5 seconds. Not that quick really. Tambay in as well. And Mr. Tambay really is in a hurry. And Nelson Piquet comes in. See how the Brabham team cope with this pit stop. Without a doubt, in the 1983 season, these pit stops can win or lose a driver a race. 12.26 seconds, the quickest pit stop of the Grand Prix so far. Prost resumes the lead. Mansell was momentarily in 2nd place during all of the pit stops. The only Lotus, of course, left in the British Grand Prix. Could well be a quick pit stop, this one. And now they're having problems at the last moment. He's away in 13 seconds, still pretty quick. There's Prost leading from Piquet. And one driver that the crowd is willing on is Nigel Mansell, challenging for 4th place. Arnoux in 4th at the moment. And there Mansell flicking out to pass him. There's a piece of bodywork right in the middle, and he just misses it. Going into Cox Corner, who will it be? Still Arnoux in 4th place, Mansell in 5th place. So the Lotus Challenge most definitely not over yet. Trying once again for 4th place. The cars will now come up to the fastest part of the circuit. Speeds attained of something like 180, 190 miles an hour. And Mansell looks to the inside. He goes past. An incredible overtaking manoeuvre. But victory at the British Grand Prix will go to Alain Prost, 2nd Nelson Piquet, 3rd Tambay, 4th Mansell, 5th Arnoux. The Big Four, split only by the inspired Mansell, dominate the points at Silverstone. and Prost's victory is his third during a season in which no one else has scored more than once. As the teams move on to the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim, the little Frenchman's lead has stretched out to 6 points. But any one of the other three can still stop him becoming France's first ever world champion. Hockenheim was the scene of Patrick Tambay's first Grand Prix victory in 1982, and this year the crowds in the packed grandstands see him on pole position with Arnoux just behind. But there is another interloper, De Cesaris in the Alfa again, out-qualifying Piquet and Prost.
All those frauds! No wonder Nelson's such a bag of knives. Give him a little ice, that'll cool them off.
Now Nelson looks cool. Straight into the lead goes Patrick Tambay from René Arnoux, De Cesaris in third place. Two Ferraris first and second, Piquet up to third place, De Cesaris side by side with Prost into fourth place. Still Tambay leads Arnoux. The top three have pulled away, Prost goes past into fourth place, De Cesaris fifth, Cheever in sixth place. Now Cheever is looking for a way past Andrea. Not an easy thing to do. Arnoux takes the lead. Oh, very subtle Eddie. Cheever muscles his way then up to fifth place. And Tambay coming slowly into the pits. This looks as if it will be the end of the race for Patrick Tambay. So Arnoux still leads. Second place, Nelson Piquet some way behind. Tambay retires here with an engine failure, a most unusual occurrence with the Ferrari team, as does Elio De Angelis with the Lotus Renault. Meanwhile, Prost is in the pits. A fairly quick pit stop for Alain Prost, out again. He'll be in third place. Arnoux still leads. Parmalat Brabham still in second place. In comes the race leader, René Arnoux. This should be interesting. A vital pit stop. Through into the lead goes Nelson Piquet. Just over 13 seconds, a good pit stop. Whoops, and that's how not to do it from the Williams team. Coming in from 7th place, Niki Lauda, and he's overshot the pits. Now he'll be pulled back by his mechanic. No, he's reversing back. Now for that, he will be disqualified. Race leader into the pits, Nelson Piquet. On go the fresh tyres. On goes the fuel. There's Gordon Murray in the front. Oh, and a very good pit stop indeed, 11.12 seconds. So Arnoux leads, and can Nelson Piquet close the gap? Coming to take fourth place off Alain Prost is Riccardo Patrese. Once again, Prost seems to have a down-on-power engine, and there is Piquet, and he is closing the gap on race leader René Arnoux. Through comes Arnoux. Here's Piquet, and he's on fire! The rear of the car is on fire! He must realise that he's going to have to get to to a fire post because, well, he's going to have to get out of that car very quickly indeed. Where is Piquet? There he is. There is smoke billowing from the back of that car. He's got to get out quickly. Get out of the car, Piquet. The back end's gone up completely. He's out. He almost falls out of the car. Where are the fire marshals? Surely they've seen the fire. Piquet is unhurt, and that Parmalat Brabham is well and truly alight. Piquet just sitting on the rails, watching that car go up in flames, realizing no point score for him at the German Grand Prix. And so with Piquet out with only 3 laps to go, René Arnoux heads towards his second victory of the season. Up into second place will come Andrea De Cesaris. There is a checkered flag for Arnoux, delighted to win. Here's De Cesaris, who almost slows and stops at the line, probably out of fuel. Into third place goes Riccardo Patrese to score his first championship points of the season. Arnoux' second victory for Ferrari marks him at last as a real threat for the title. But Piquet and Tambay failed to score, so Prost extends his lead yet again to 9 points. A week later, the transporters roll across another border to the majestic Österreichring near Graz, home of the late Jochen Rindt. Since Rindt's death, the Austrian fans have had Niki Lauda to cheer, but he has never won this race, and he has no turbo, yet.
And there's Arnoux, collapsing under the strain of impending popularity. Now there's the classy chassis.
For the second race running, Arnoux is beaten to pole position by his teammate, Tambay. And this week's interloper is the Renault turbo-engined Lotus of Nigel Mansell. He has gone quicker than both Piquet in the slimline Brabham and the besieged series leader, Alain Prost. Even in Central Europe, you just can't get away from the aircraft. But don't worry, it's a Harrier, and it's friendly. British technology takes a bow in the air above the Österreichring, but will it triumph over the Ferraris on the track?
Hi, Mom.
Green light, and Piquet makes a superb start. And Chiva wheeling from side to side, almost as they're coming together with Prost. The field getting away, very tightly packed indeed, into the first chicane. There's been an accident. A car is off, Tambay leads, De Angelis is missing, a lot of bumping and boring going on down the field. And the feet there has been hit by Sear and Sullivan, and Watson loses his nose cone. There is Marc Sear off with the arrows. So 4 cars out of the race, De Angelis' Lotus Renault being pushed away. And there, Mr. De Angelis, most certainly not a happy man. It's Tambay, Arnoux, Piquet, then Prost. So it's the 4 championship contenders, first, second, third, and fourth. Patrese is 5th, Mansell 6th. And what an incredible battle we have here at the Österreichring. Now Prost knows he must get past Nelson Piquet to extend his championship lead. Tambay, Arnoux, Piquet, Prost looking to the inside, coming up towards the chicane. Prost dives through on the inside towards Piquet, and they touch. Oh, and a little bit of desperation, I think, there. Prost into 3rd place, Piquet in 4th place. Tombe still in the lead, coming up to lap back markers. There's Jarier, and Arnaud is right behind him. Now remember, although they're teammates, they are both racing for the World Championship. Tombe leads, Jarier is in the way, and Arnaud is going side by side with Tombe and forcing Tombe right behind Jarier, who still hasn't moved over. Arnaud goes into the lead. Tombe is in second place. So that is quite incredible. There's Piquet in third place, now he's up to second place. And I should think Tombe must be absolutely furious with Jarier. And Jesse's shaking his fist at Jarier, who without a shadow of a doubt is going to get the lemon prize for the worst piece of driving so far this year. Tombe third, Prost in fourth place, but Prost comes into the pits for his fuel stop. On goes the clock. Arnaud, Piquet, then Tombe. Prost comes out of the pits, 11.58 seconds, a very good pit stop indeed. Arnaud is in, 11.24 seconds, and now it's Piquet in the lead under a lot of pressure from Patrick Tombe. Tombe looking for a way past. Looking to one side, will he outbrake him? They're side by side into the corner, and Tombe goes into the lead, so yet another change of lead in the Austrian Grand Prix. What a superb race. Tombe is in the pits and out of the car. Tombe is out of the car and out of the race. Nelson Piquet, race leader, into the pits. The wheel chucked to the side there. And this looks like a very quick pit stop indeed. 10.20 seconds, incredible. And Piquet has gone back into the lead of the race despite his fuel stop. De Cesris retires, and right behind him is Arnaud. Remember, Piquet is on cold tyres, they're side by side, and Piquet maintains that lead, but only just. Arnaud in second place. Up to the chicane they come, a little bit sideways. Nelson Piquet, René Arnaud, and right behind them in third place is Alain Prost. Still first and second, Arnaud looking to the inside and outbreaks Piquet for the lead. So Piquet fights back, looking to the inside. Grand Prix motor racing at its best, and Prost goes past Piquet. Piquet must be in some sort of problem. He's dropped from first to third, but he's fighting back. They're side by side, and Prost goes into second place. Arnaud leads. Prost closing in on René Arnaud, and Nelson Piquet is dropping back. So it's a straight fight between Ferrari and Renault, coming into the last 6 laps of the race. And Prost challenges for the lead and goes through fairly easily. Could Arnaud be in problems as well? But it's Prost who's heading towards his 4th Grand Prix win of the year to give his championship hopes a real boost.
Yeah, for sure I'm more confident because it's 14 points, so it's a good average. But I think the championship is not finished anyway because Piquet, Arnaud, and the both Ferrari are trying to pass me the last 4 races, and it could be very difficult for the mentally, psychologically very difficult.
The seaside resort of Zandvoort has been the venue for the Dutch Grand Prix since 1950, and it has always been a power track because of a long pit straight. The Brabhams have revised engines, and they are the quickest cars through the speed tracks. Piquet gets his first pole of the year, with Tombe second and Prost fourth, but Arnaud has problems in practice and is nowhere, which makes Nelson a very happy man.
A stranger in the night, la da da da.
Oh, with her, he means. Oh, look, there's Andrea. He doesn't look too happy. Where's he going? Just off to say hello to his fellow Italian. Hi, Riccardo. Helmet a bit loose?
26 Grand Prix cars get away towards a very difficult Tarzan corner, and Piquet is shot into the lead. Cheever is in second place, Alain Prost in third place. They all negotiate Tarzan without incident. Piquet leading. Prost trying to find a way past his teammate Cheever, does so and breaks him into the corner. Now can Alain Prost close on leader Piquet? Oh, and Cheever almost goes off there. Meanwhile, Patrese takes third place from Eddie Cheever, although Cheever fighting back. Way down the field after making a dreadful start from the front row of the grid. Arnoux getting up also into fourth place, demoting Cheever to fifth. Showing well on its debut race here, the brand new TAG Porsche engine in the back of Niki Lauda's McLaren, taking Stephanie Hanson's Honda, whilst René Arnoux challenges for third place. Now Arnoux only qualified in 10th place, so coming up a strong challenge. Oh, a little bit sideways out the corner, and they're side by side for third place, and Arnoux gets through. And Mansell trying for sixth place off the Candy Tolman of Warwick, and he's braked too late, surely! Yes, off he goes. Goes around, just misses the tyre wall. Meanwhile, a lot of tension in the pits between the Brabham and the Renault team. And this is the reason, because Nelson Piquet is leading, but only just, and look at the sparks flying there. Lapping some back markers, Prost right behind it. Third place man Arnoux in the pits. And that is an excellent pit stop, 10.18 seconds, he's out, still in third place. But look at the battle for the lead, Prost looking for always to get past Nelson Piquet. Oh, goes side by side into the corner, still Piquet leading. BMW Turbo versus Renault Turbo. Coming down towards Tarzan, and Prost challenges on the inside, and Piquet takes his line, still in the lead. And Tombe in the pits, pit stop completed, he's out. John Watson, who stormed his way up from 15th place to 6th. And look at this, first and second, Piquet weaving to try and get Prost out of the slipstream. Prost tries to the inside here, and he's going to lose it, and he's hit Piquet. Piquet is off. Prost goes through into the lead. That is an incredible manoeuvre. And here is the leader, and Prost is heading straight towards our camera. Prost is off in the biggest possible way. Spins out. Surely he must have damaged his car in that incident with Nelson Piquet. We see it again in replay. He loses it under braking. Whether he locked the wheel up, we don't know. But the two championship contenders are out of the Dutch Grand Prix. Piquet walking back to the pits in no mood to talk to anyone. And what must Alain Prost be thinking? As his car is lifted clear, Nelson Piquet reports to team owner Bernie Ecclestone. Arnoux has now assumed the lead. In second place is Patrese, but under a lot of pressure from the second Ferrari of Patrick Tambay. John Watson has come up to fourth place. In fifth place is Derek Warwick with the Candy Tolman. Can they score their first World Championship points here in Holland? Whilst teammate Bruno Giacomelli is not going to finish this race in the points. Still in second place, Patrese, Tambay in third place, and Patrese slowing, he's lost power. Tambay gets through into second place with the Ferrari. Third place for John Watson with the McLaren. Brian Hart looking, watching, hoping that he's going to score his first World Championship point. Warwick goes past in 4th place. There's Patrese cruising.
Hey, if Nelson can bum a ride, maybe they'll give him some points after all.
And so the Dutch Grand Prix is going to finish with a Ferrari 1-2. Arnoux comes up to the checkered flag, takes it, his 3rd victory of the season. Finishing in 2nd place, Patrick Tambay. 3rd will be John Watson, but the big news in 4th place, Derek Warwick scores the first World Championship points for the Candy Tolman team. But what about that incident between Prost and Piquet?
No, I don't know. It's 100% was his mistake. I don't think he did purpose because he's also his championship. But wow, that's everybody human being. Everybody can do mistakes.
Yeah, for sure it's not his fault. It's my fault anyway. But I think for me it was not a big risk. I was sure to pass him in this corner, and I was just near him. And I'm sorry for him today. I hope he will win the race in Monza. Maybe if I finish 2nd, it's a good place for me.
Mixed fortunes for the Big Four, but the Ferrari drivers go to the Italian Grand Prix on the crest of a wave. And this produces much heated discussion about just who will win the Italian Grand Prix, Arnoux or Tambay. Inside the track, the atmosphere is quite different from the sentiment of Imola. These people are aggressive Ferrari fanatics. And this year, the huge crowd is more unruly than ever, especially when Patrese produces a stunning late qualifying lap for Brabham and knocks off pole position the increasingly popular Tambay.
Okay, so we know how the fans feel already, but I want a line on the mechanics.
What about the money involved? Do you think the drivers are worth all the money that they're paid?
Definitely not. Definitely not. They don't work for their money. They come here for a couple of hours a day, 3 days a week, and they're prima donnas, and everyone's got to run after them, and they're like babies, they wet their pants, you've got to change their nappy sort of thing,
I think they get far too much money. They ask for too much money. They should want to do the job more and not worry about the money. Just get on with the job.
What's it like? You're the man who's a team manager for Brabham's. You've got to work directly under someone like Bernie Eccleston. Is that very difficult? And reply what you wanted to the TV camera.
Morning, Mr. Christ.
What is it like? Why are you making it?
He's a tough guy to work for, and he's temperamental. He likes to do his own little things. He's like a Howard Hughes of motor racing. Where everything's got to be immaculate, and he goes over the top sometimes.
Patrese makes a very good start, so do both of the Ferraris, and Piquet is coming up on the inside. Patrese leads, Piquet in 2nd place. It's Brabham 1st and 2nd, and the fans don't like that. In fact, as the cars go through, they're throwing bottles and stones at everybody, including one photographer who gets hit. Patrese leads. Piquet not far behind him in 2nd place. 3rd place still René Arnoux with the Ferrari, and André de Cesaris is gone. De Cesaris has spun off there. He's stuck in the sand, and I should think that Alain Prost with a flat spot in his tyres, his avoidance, and the leader Patrese, his engine is blown up. Oh, and just listen to the crowds. They love it. The Italian driver there is not driving one of their beloved Ferraris. Into the lead goes Nelson Piquet, and somebody else has blown up. It's Mauro Baldi, and we've told him about smoking before. Piquet in the lead. A race he must win. Second is Arnoux, third Chiva, fourth is Tambay, fifth is Alain Prost, sixth is Elio D'Angelo. And now Prost has dropped down to sixth place. This is good news for Nelson Piquet. Here is Piquet pulling away in the lead all the time. And now D'Angelis is up to fourth place. Lotus Renault ahead of the Ferrari of Tambay in fifth. Into the pits comes second place man René Arnoux. The Goodyear tyre has been put on. 11.99 second pit stop. A good effort by the Ferrari team. Here's the leader, Nelson Piquet, and that's Alain Prost who's slowing. Prost is slowing. And this will bode very well for Nelson Piquet's chances, because he's got to catch up to the points lead Alain Prost has. Second is still Arnoux, third is still Chiva. Tambay now in the pits. And out again, 11.75 seconds. And number 15, Alain Prost, out of the car. He's out of the Italian Grand Prix. Chiva coming up to challenge René Arnoux for second place into the Parabolica curve. But it's Nelson Piquet all the way here with the Parmalat Brabham at the Italian Grand Prix. And Chiva, well, almost the two of them coming together. Arnoux still retains that second place. Niki Lauda in the pits. 13.5 second pit stop. And he's stalled right in front of the Brabham team.
Oh, Bernie, this is the pit! Get him out of there! Nelson's gonna refuel any minute. Jeez.
Into the pits comes Piquet. That is incredible again. Another good pit stop from the Brabham team. Piquet retains his lead. Arnoux still in second place under a lot of pressure from Eddie Chiva still. Tambay is still in that fourth place. Fifth is D'Angelis, and sixth place, picking up more points, Derek Warwick with the Tambay. But heading towards victory here in the Italian Grand Prix, Nelson Piquet with the Parmalat Brabham. The team are jubilant. Piquet takes the flag then. The Italian tifosi invade the circuit here at Monza, even when the race was won by a Brazilian.
Well, it's still 2 races to go. It's very difficult, but it's still a chance, because the car is running very strongly in the front, and I hope we can do.
Piquet's dominant victory restores him as a formidable title contender, and now Arnoux is only 2 points behind Prost. Well, for René, it's very difficult to get out of Monza circuit, even in the Rolls Royce.
Boy, motor racing sure seems to be a dog-eat-dog world.
Now Formula 1 revives a tradition, the Grand Prix of Europe. It's at Brands Hatch. This is the first time that British fans have had 2 World Championship fixtures, and they respond with another big crowd. There are still 4 men in the reckoning. The tension building up as the World Championship reaches its climax is now there for all to see.
Bunch of little things together that just...
Your policeman is just gorgeous, and he ain't bad neither.
What's more, D'Angelis claims pole position, and on this occasion the Big Four have to line up behind him and Patrese. Before the off, though, the British must give vent to their feelings about aeroplanes of all shapes and sizes. up on the grid. De Angelis in pole, Mansell with the second John Player Lotus in third place. Red lights on. And they're away. The two Ferraris make a fairly slow start. Looks to be Patrese in the lead. De Angelis in second place, Mansell third, Piquet fourth. And Piquet getting past Eddie Cheever. That one, it's Riccardo Patrese, Elio De Angelis, Mansell, Piquet. Cheever is in fifth place, Winkelhock sixth, Prost seventh, Arnoux eighth, Tombe in ninth. Piquet takes Mansell for third place. Cheever and Mansell wheel to wheel. Cheever up to fourth place with the Renault. And now Alain Prost is coming up to pass Nigel Mansell. Important for Prost to get into the leading positions. Also for René Arnoux, it's important Arnoux sweeps past Mansell. So it's Patrese leading still, under a lot of pressure from Elio De Angelis. The best race for the John Player Lotus team so far. Up to fourth place goes Alain Prost. Battle continuing for the lead. Interesting to note that it's Pirelli tyres on the John Player special of Elio De Angelis. De Angelis challenges for the lead on the inside. Oh, they are on side by side. It is still Patrese in the lead. Piquet in third place, dropping back a little. And still these two really going for it. De Angelis pulls out, tries, oh, he's lost it! Oh, and he's taken Patrese with him! De Angelis lost it under braking, and he's spun off, as has Patrese. But De Angelis gets back on, as has Riccardo Patrese. Patrese, I think, is right in front of Alain Prost. So it's Piquet, the new race leader. Patrese in second place, coming under a lot of pressure from Prost. Tactically, it's going to be very important for Patrese to keep Alain Prost behind, allow some breathing space for Nelson Piquet to get away in the lead. And Prost once again, oh, and goes through at Paddock Bend. Prost is in second place. De Angelis out of the race. Arnoux and Cheever coming up to pressurise Riccardo Patrese for his third place. Patrese through. And where's Arnoux? Arnoux is missing, he's spun off. Oh, a serious mistake from René Arnoux. This could wreck his World Championship hopes. There he goes, spinning off. And that is Danny Sullivan, who's blown up. He's spun off, hasn't hit anything. And look at the flames from the back of the car. A broken oil line, it must be. We see the accident again in replay. Sullivan spins at Paddock Bend, engulfed in smoke. Flames coming from the rear of the Benetton Tyrrell, and he cannot realise just what sort of danger he's in. He's already passed, by this point, 3 marshals' posts where there are plenty of fire extinguishers. Coming from the rear of the car, there is no way that Sullivan knew about it. He stopped finally. The fire marshals seem to be taking their time. So does Sullivan getting out of the car. Meanwhile, René Arnoux is in the pits, but he's way down the field, out of the World Championship point scoring places. Away he goes. Patrese is third, Mansell fourth, Tombe fifth, De Cesaris in sixth place. Just out the top 6, Derek Warwick with the Tolman. Still race leader Nelson Piquet, pulling away from Alain Prost. These two World Championship contenders, and that's Patrese in. Oh, and that is a long pit stop. They've got problems with one of the air jacks, and he drops out of the top 6. Prost comes into the pits. Up into second place goes Tombe. Third place will be Nigel Mansell. His first Grand Prix drive. And away goes Alain Prost back into the race. Charlies, in comes the race leader, Nelson Piquet. Perhaps the most important pit stop of the Brabham team's year. Oh, they've got problems with the air jack. And Prost will be closing all the time. There is Alain Prost up in the second place again. 19.6 seconds. Not a good pit stop, but he still retains his lead. And Derek Warwick, who's in sixth place, has his cockpit fire extinguisher go off right in his face. That's freezing carbon dioxide, but he's still carrying on. After their pit stop, Tambay in third place, Mansell in fourth place. But Mansell is challenging on the inside and goes through with the John Player special. But Patrick Tambay trying the outside line, and look, he must have brake problems there. He looked up at Druids. He's dropped to fourth place, but now under a lot of pressure from Andrea de Cesaris. Into Druids' hairpin they come. And number 27, Tambay, has slipped right off, hit the barrier, and is out of contention for the World Championship. Patrick Tambay, such a popular man within the Ferrari team, is out of the European Grand Prix and out of the World Championship. As up to take victory comes Nelson Piquet with the Parmalat Brabham. Victory number 3 for Nelson. Finishing just under 7 seconds behind is Alain Prost, who still retains the World Championship lead. Third place for Mansell, fourth for Cesaris, fifth Warwick, and sixth Giacomelli. And so the World Championship will go right down to the wire in South Africa.
I'm still leading the championship, even if it's only 2 points, and I think it's the most important, because if I win the championship only for 1 point, it's very good.
What I can say now, what I said before, if we don't stop, it will be very difficult for somebody beat us.
So the 1983 Formula 1 World Championship comes down to the final showdown. Between Brazil and South Africa, there have been 15 races, and the Grand Prix teams have travelled no less than 55,000 miles, entertaining over 1 billion television viewers in 41 countries. Now it's effectively between two men, Prost and Piquet. Arnoux still has a slender chance, but it is Tambay, now out of it, on pole position at Kyalami. Red lights on, green lights. The final round of the 1983 FIA World Championship is underway, and straight into the lead goes Nelson Piquet. It's Piquet from Patrese, and look at the lead that Piquet has. He comes down into Pro Tools for the first time. This has got to be a tactical race by the Brabham team. Nelson Piquet leads, Patrese in second place, Tambay is in third place, that's the Cesaris fourth, Prost is right down there in fifth place, Arnoux is nowhere to be seen. Yes, he is there, he's in seventh place, but Arnoux's got to make a move, and very quickly. Alain Prost is still in fifth place. Still the same order, Tambay, de Cesaris, Prost, and Keke Rosberg up there with the brand new Williams, powered by the Honda Turbo V6. It's imperative that Alain Prost gets in front of Nelson Piquet, because that's the only way the Frenchman is going to win the World Championship. He must make his move soon. De Cesaris comes up alongside Tambay for third place, and also looking for a way through is Prost. De Cesaris goes into third place. Prost moves up to fourth place. Tambay is in fifth place. And Jacques Lafitte is spun off. But he's unharmed, it would seem. Climbs out of the car. De Cesaris still in third place, locking up a wheel. Prost closing on De Cesaris. And now Niki Lauda is really making a big charge. Lauda coming up to pass Patrick Tambay for fifth place. Lauda, of course, with the McLaren powered by the TAG Porsche turbo engine. And Prost is up to third place. Alain Prost is in third place, and the World Championship title hunt is really hotting up. And René Arnoux is slowing. Arnoux had a slender chance of winning the World Championship, got up as high as 7th place only, and is suddenly out of the race with a blown engine. So one title contender, admittedly only a slender chance, he's out, so it's down to two men. Will it be Nelson Piquet? Will it might be Alain Prost. Piquet with a Parmalat Brabham making the race his own at the moment. And here is Niki Lauda. Lauda is passing Alain Prost for third place. Oh, incredible racing here in South Africa. And I tell you one thing, it seems to us as if Lauda is closing in on Patrese. Now Lauda could upset the entire apple cart. He's closing right up on the second place car, Ricardo Patrese. And Nelson Piquet's coming to the pits. Has he got a problem? No, he's come in to refuel. He must have had very little fuel on, which is why he's been going so quickly in the early stages. This has got to be the fuel stop of the year. And he's away in 9.20 seconds. That is the fastest pit stop of the 1983 season. Out he goes, and it's incredibly still in the lead. And they're coming up in second place is Ricardo Patrese and Niki Lauda. So it's Nelson Piquet with the Parmalat Brabham, first, still leading. And is Ricardo Patrese closing? There in fourth place is Alain Prost. So all is not lost for him yet in the World Championship Stakes. In comes Niki Lauda. Piquet goes through. And this is a long stop for Lauda. He's had a problem. 23 seconds. And in comes Alain Prost. Prost is coming into the pits. This has got to be a quick fuel stop. On goes the clock. It's got to be the minimum time possible. The clock is running. They've got to be as quick as they can. And Prost is getting out. Prost is getting out of the car. It's all over for him as far as he's concerned in the race. But as far as the championship is concerned, Nelson Piquet must finish fourth or higher to win it. So Alain Prost can just sit behind the pits wall, hoping that Nelson fails to finish. Patrese is in with the second place Parmalat Brabham. Oh, the Brabham team are really excelling themselves here in Kyalami. Battle on for sixth place between Eddie Cheever and Keke Rosberg. Rosberg really driving an excellent race for the debut of this new car. Bodes well for the future for him. Nelson Piquet has already lapped this battle, and it was seen by our watchers that Ricardo Patrese and Niki Lauda are closing on race leader Nelson Piquet, and Patrick Tambay is now slowing down. Rosberg has already passed him. Through goes Cheever into sixth place. Rosberg's in fifth, and Bruno Giacomelli's car is on fire. The rear end of that car well and truly alight. Giacomelli slowing down to a fire marshal's post. Marshall's rushing up and quickly extinguishing it, and Nelson Piquet with Ricardo Patrese right behind him. Now, is Nelson conserving his car and engine in order to win the World Championship, or is he in some form of problems? And I think Patrese, yes, Patrese has taken the lead. So Ricardo Patrese is in the lead. Second place is Nelson Piquet. In third place, catching both of them, is Niki Lauda. And I'll tell you another thing, Andrea de Chesnais is not far behind either. So Piquet is still going to have to watch out, because remember, he must finish fourth or higher to win the World Championship. And Lauda right behind Piquet for second place. Piquet will probably let him pass. Yes, he does. No heroics from Nelson Piquet. He wants that second World Championship. So Lauda now in second place. But de Chesnais is closing on Piquet as well. There's Lauda, pulled well clear of Piquet. Piquet in third place. And Lauda is slowing. Niki Lauda is slowing down. Lauda looks to be out of the race. Back up in second place goes Nelson Piquet. Closing in all the while is de Chesnais. Warwick fourth, Cheever fifth, Rosberg sixth. Just 3 laps away from the World Championship for Nelson Piquet, but de Chesnais is now in second place. Piquet is in third place. As long as he maintains that third place, he'll win the 1983 Formula 1 World Championship, the most coveted crown in all of motorsport. The Brabham team wait, They can win the race and the World Championship. Piquet in third place goes on to his final lap. He's just 2.5 miles away from winning the World Championship. But there's Prost. Prost knowing that if Piquet crosses the line, he's lost the World Championship. Out to win the South African Grand Prix comes Riccardo Patrese, but all eyes here for Nelson Piquet. Just yards to go now, and he's won. Nelson Piquet is the 1983 FIA World Champion. Alain Prost has had the title snatched away.
I think, you know, I was behind the wall. I said if he has a problem with his car, I am world champion. But in my mind, I would not like to. He has a problem because I think he was the best this year with his car.
And can a Frenchman win the world championship next year?
I hope to be world champion next year, and I hope Renault will give me a better car than this year.
I tell you, wins or not, I really want to win this championship for me. You know, let's see, the way in 1981, maybe I said I want to win for the team, for the mechanic, for everything. But now I really want to win for myself. And for sure, I will try to win several another one because I think I'm just the beginning of motor racing. And I think I'm very young still, and I have all the wish to still racing a lot.
How are you going to celebrate tonight?
I think I'm getting drunk.
Grand Prix racing's millions of fans come from all walks of life. But we asked the famous actor, Gene Hackman, just why this glamorous sport is so important to him.
Well, Grand Prix racing is, for me, the ultimate racing. I suppose because it happens all over the world, and I think I've seen races in almost every place except Africa, with the Formula 1 circus, and it's very exciting. Really, you have all the flair of the variety of personalities and languages, and it's just the best.
He's probably gone to Brazil.